In today's video, let's explore when dad mistreats the kids and mom stands by and lets it happen. We see a different motivation typically coming out of women who stand back and let their husband mistreat the kids. And this is a reflection of the power struggle, the control issues within the marriage. This is where misogyny plays a big part. Now, it's important to look at this topic in terms of what the father, in this case, the type of relationship he had with his mother. He likely will marry a woman that has certain traits that allow him to be dominant and be in control. If he has a mother wound from his own mother, then it's likely that this mother wound may be indeed passed down generationally to his own children now. If sons growing up see their mothers as victims to their fathers, to the boy's father, then he's learning what women are all about, and it's not good. And perhaps the father in this marriage also was raised in a way that his dad stepped in and purposely tried to break any healthy connection between the mother and the son. So this is very complex, isn't it? And we have to kind of go deep with this to even begin to understand it. But these are all the dynamics that come together to play a role, to play a part in how some parents mistreat children and their spouse stands by and lets it happen. It all starts from what they learned when they were younger, what was role modeled for them, and now they're reliving it, they're passing it on. These are different dynamics from the video I did a few weeks ago about a mother who mistreats the kids and the father lets it happen. In these cases, the mother is likely to have witnessed a domineering, dominant type of mother. So we can see the difference here, right? So in an overall patriarchal society, which we currently have pretty much worldwide, typically boys are taught to shut down their emotions. Quite often they're being socialized to dominate others. And if said boy like this grows up and marries a woman who was also raised in a family with similar dynamics, the mother witnessed her mother being very submissive to the husband, it's not her place to say too much, then this is like a magnet that's going to draw people together to begin a marriage, to begin starting a family. Most of this plays out unconsciously, so the couple now coming together, starting the family, don't fully realize these dynamics are there, and hence the problem can begin. And the ones who really pay the price are the children who are going to be raised in a very unhealthy atmosphere. So now if we take this and run with it, and let's just say we have a full-on misogynist, he's now married a more submissive woman, well, then we have this setup for mistreatment of the children and the mother standing by. So in delving into this a little bit, I thought, well, the results are pretty much going to be the same. Obviously, the child who's raised in this fashion is going to pay a big price because they're getting slammed by both parents. There's the one who's actively mistreating them, even abusing them perhaps, and the other parent who's equally responsible, who stands by and does nothing, perhaps even makes excuses for it. So speaking very broadly, of course, this is going to impact this said child's life in terms of intimacy issues, trust issues, repressed anger about being taken advantage of by both parents, inappropriate guilt that perhaps they did something wrong when, of course, the child didn't do anything wrong at all. It could impact their ability to have friends, to eventually fall in love and get married and have a family, and on and on. One of the top symptoms that percolates to the top about this huge detrimental impact is how a child feels about themselves in terms of masculinity or femininity. They're learning what's being role modeled for them through their parents. In this case, dad is the abuser. Is that what it means to be a man? And mother is trying to look the other way even though she knows exactly what's going on. Is that what it means to be a woman? Because this is a very complex, complicated issue, I can't really get too much into it in a short video. But I will say, of course, it's important that if a couple realizes this is going on, they need to begin some couples therapy. And one of the top issues the father, the male, is going to have to realize in this dynamic is that he is indeed carrying a lot of rage usually about how he was raised in terms of the notion that he had to cut off parts of himself, dissociate from who he really is, to be looked at and thought of and be considered as a man in today's world. A young boy will start living up to this image, wanting to be the man, the way society is telling him to be the man, the way his father's indicating he should be a man. But unfortunately, it's cutting off a lot of aspects of that boy's self. Men have just as many levels of emotions and complicated feelings just like women, but they're trained to wad them all up in a big ball, so to speak, and put them over here. And when we take any parts of who we really are and try to put it over here, it's never going to end too well. There's going to be a price to be paid one way or another, because anytime we repress a human side of us, who we really are, that dissociation, that repression of feelings, that denying of the essence of who we really are in many ways is going to piss us off, usually unconsciously, and it'll play out in different ways, including a father mistreating his child and his wife standing by and letting it happen. So lots of complicated information here. I hope you've been able to keep up with it. Please let me know any questions you may have in the comments section below. Please subscribe to my mental health YouTube channel if you like these kind of videos. And until next week, this is Brad Shore signing off from Ask a Shrink.